Hello there, and welcome to a bit of Spyro Reignited Trilogy. I hope you're all having a pleasant time. In the previous part, we had just arrived at the Beastmakers, and we had finished our adventures in Treetops, concluding that indeed the level was great, but the supercharge was less so. Let's see how the other levels fare. We're 61% complete in this game so far. We are missing 5 gems in the High Cave. So we also did Wild Flight as well. So let's continue. Let's see if I can actually do this without tapping any cables ever so lightly and causing the capture device to go batshit insane. Again, yay for autosave. I think it would have been really good if they had like 3 save files per game rather than just like 3 save files for, yeah, like for the entire thing. I mean, yeah, maybe that would have been excessive, you know. I guess as well there might be some kind of completion bonus if you get them all done on a single file. Who knows? I don't know. It would be quite interesting to see though, because obviously on the original 3 games you didn't really get you wouldn't have got a bonus as such for doing all 3 on the original console, but well, besides satisfaction, of course. Remember when games were just fun to complete? And it's like, oh, you can never complete our game nowadays. Can't stand that in games nowadays. Oh, I like that design. I like that a lot. That guy is badass. I like him. I like that a lot. Just want to quickly listen to the sound design if I can get it. Just scooch a little closer. Got him in the end. I think they did quite a good job of music here, based entirely off a couple of seconds of listening to it. Wow, this looks really nice. See, this is the kind of it's getting close to the original colour scheme. There's sort of really dark, various hues of green. It wasn't like clean water and furry branches there. I mean, maybe it could be the Loch Ness Monster. Who knows? So it does look nice though. It does look really sodding nice. Yeah, I must admit I wasn't expecting to be impressed as much by the visuals as consistently as I have been. It's like I could spend a ton of time looking at each of these zones. Interesting, it appears as though the enemy's projectiles last a bit longer. And from what I remember anyway, they were quite short-lived. Very only short range, but you know, beyond melee range. Now, if I want to get the skill point here, I've got to be very careful that I don't actually take any damage from the electrified floors. I like the sort of fish leaping out as well. That's quite a nice detail. I tell you what. And I complain about the download for this game, but if that time was used to add all these little details and all the polish, I'd say it was time well spent. You know, yes, I would have liked the game to have been on 3 discs, so at least have that option. Would have post having the option. But I mean, if it meant that they could add more stuff artistically, then they've knocked it out of the park. I mean, if they did it, if they didn't have that time, then I'm even more impressed. You know, that if all this was here before the delays, then damn, they've done good. Oh, I like how it lit up the ruins there on the side.
The Norks in these parts have discovered the power of electricity, and it really stings.
I'm gonna kill him because it's annoying. So yeah, the previous part seemed to render okay. I'm dead chuffed about that. Oh shit. There's no way from getting out of that, I'm afraid. Let's hope that it does this one. Okay. Just want to check something very quickly. I'm sorry to have to keep delaying these stupid fucking things. Oh, Christ. There we go. Could really do with a remote for this, so I could change the inputs a bit better. Or outputs, whatever. Change the fucking channel. Alright. Good. Does look good. I wish I could say more, to be honest, but I'm totally flabbergasted. I might miss out on doing another part, on doing an additional part today, and instead maybe doing a video for my WoW channel. Talk about the sort of the Dark Shore Warfront. Not like a scripted video like my usual chat about videos, but like doing what I'm doing here, filming and playing at the same time, because I've got a lot to say about Dark Shore. I think it could learn a lot from its previous mistakes, and there are mistakes. Certainly. But honestly, only very minor problems. A couple of number tweaks here and there, in my opinion. See, I'm not normally very good at that kind of thing when it comes to balance, but I can easily pinpoint what my issues are with Dark Shore. Maybe it's different for the Alliance. I don't know.
Good job, Spyro. One day you'll be able to tell all the dragons about your amazing adventures.
Sure, but what I'd really like to do is get out of this swamp.
Now, in the Spyro, Legend of Spyro series, purple dragons are meant to be essentially something special. I think there's like 1 in 1,000 years or something like that that comes along. But here, in terms of the lore, Spyro was first resting in the Dragon Realm, so in the Artisan's Homeworld. So I have to wonder, was he perhaps intended to become an artisan? Or was that just his favourite place? I have no idea. Oh shit! Maybe that was for the best first. Because I really want the skill point here. I mean, I make it sound like it's a lot more difficult than it actually is, but you know, it's like there's quite a few of these electrified surfaces, and I don't want to touch them. I don't want to risk it at all. And it's and even then, it's just like waiting for the platforms to be safe to travel on. I don't want to get in the line of sight and just. Right, I think that's safe right about now. There we go. On here. Nice. The more I play Terrace Village, the more I enjoy it. I do like a lot of the sort of platforming puzzles here. I remember when I was a young'un, I didn't really bother with you know, a lot of the additional platforming stuff, because sometimes the jumps are a bit too lengthy. And also there's excuse me, a small amount of backtracking as well, which I wasn't overly fond of. I mean, it's very similar to Metalhead. You'll see that soon enough. There's a couple of secrets there that are quite similar. Like the entire aesthetic here is quite similar. Actually, I wonder if Metalhead might have been designed first, and assets of that we used here. Not that I've been there yet, but this looks very sort of Metalhead-ish. But we'll see. I do like the sort of distant backgrounds as well. Distinctly different, in my opinion. Different art style. Like, sort of 2D, hand-drawn kind of thing. With the illusion to look like their 3D models and such. But maybe that's just my perception, though. Now, I'm trying to think where that other rocket is, because there's a second one. It needs to destroy that crate there. Completely forgot to set the timer as well. Couldn't have it close there. And we got the skill point because we didn't touch any of the concepts, so that's good. So, we need to maybe do a bit like, oh, ooh, no, that was good. I think do just a bit more backtracking to find that other firework. Which might be made a bit more difficult because of how much detail there is on the rooftops. It's like, it's not just like flat surfaces, it's a bit harder to see because of that. Where was it now? Where was the other fire? Because I remember it being on here somewhere. How did we get that other... How did we get that other one? It's not a supercharge, it's not a super... Was it down here? There it was! I don't find the fireworks as exciting to watch here. Maybe in Spyro 2 they'll improve, because the devs were quite liberal with the animation. They just went all over the place, wild as all hell, and still missing 7 gems. Where, pray tell, could they be? I'm thinking they might actually be back at the beginning because we've been quite explorative, if that's even a word, down here. 7 gems. Usually when I've done that, it's like that's it then. The top here. Nope, not here. Let's continue on. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be on the rooftops. I think it'll be in the corners, nooks and crannies here. I'm thinking it's going to be a blue and a green gem. Or a blue and 2 reds. I doubt very much it's going to be like a green and a green and wouldn't be that many gems. I don't think it would be that many physical gems. Or individual gems, rather. Now, I think I've been around the outskirts a bit too much. Let's have a look around here. Is there an enemy I haven't slain? Chest unopened? Ah! I only vaguely remember those. There we go. That's the level 100% complete. Now, for tradition's sake, I am going to go all the way to the end. I'm just thinking now when we get to Nasty Nork, might I do that in the same part? Because there's a lot of chasing there, and I'm gonna have to get used to the jumping by then. Christ, I'm gonna have to get used to the jumping, unless they've nerfed it. Those 5 gems are still pissing me off there. They really are. Right, that's another level done. Shit on it! To Misty Bog we go. Now, I don't know if the balls can be charged. I don't think they can. I think if you try to charge them, either you take damage and you're knocked back, or you don't take damage but you're knocked back. I can't remember. Now, I tried to do Misty Bog in the original Part 3, but again, because the recording fucked out, I wasn't able to show it off. I don't believe there's a skill point here. So I always try to get the Nork there to stop him from trapping the chicken. Doesn't really do anything, it's just I mean, dare I call it roleplay value? You know, Spyro's a hero of chickens. Your name's Chicken Chaser. Do you chase chickens? Can't remember the last time I did a Brum accent. Was it on? Was it my review of the mech game for Warhammer? Freeblade. Speaking of Brummy accents, I was thinking of doing a bit of Fable. Because I couldn't really decide what game I was going to play next. Because I didn't really want to be doing this. Not because of the game itself, but because of the capture card. So, it's a pity I don't get full health as well as the next life. Still, you can't win them all. For fuck's sake. They've buffed those. They have buffed the speed quite noticeably there. Or, and I don't want to say this, the flame is delayed a bit. I'll show you this now. Okay, so I see, so you got to break the cage. Right, so you've got to let it get trapped first. Could have called it like Chicken Run or something, but or Battery End, you know. But yeah, it's like I wanted to do Fable not because of the game itself as such, but rather because of this one, the stupid arsing capture card. But I decided to go with it, and I don't regret it. It would have been Fable Anniversary as well, so although although I think the original Fable is better for keyboard and mouse. I think it's designed with that in mind. Ooh, Roscoe, one of my favourite names.
Be on the lookout for attack frogs. They are cold-blooded killers.
Attack frogs?
And this used to be such a nice swamp.
Yes, the attack frogs. One of the most horrible enemies in any Spyro game. I swear to Christ, I hated these things. They make my life hell in this game. They really do. I can't. It's one of the reasons why I dread coming to the Beastmakers. It's like Misty Bog, nice enough level. I mean, actually, I tell you what, I think this is possibly the most accurately designed one because of how it looks. It's just this is exactly. It's like every single asset is placed almost perfectly. Some new ones as well. Don't know why I tried to flame it now. Sorry, I had to line up my thing about the landing. Psych myself up. To be honest, it's the Norks that are the problem here, not the frogs. Because I normally, like at least once, every other playthrough, I will die on this stage. Or I will lose all my health. To say I did that isn't too bad.
Thanks for releasing me. It seems like I've been trapped in here since I was your age.
Oh no.
Why, I remember...
Gotta go.
That to me doesn't look like a beast maker at all. Perhaps a magic crafter who was here to collect reagents for their next magic crafter affair. Who knows? It does look nice. We will get there eventually and deal with the Nox there. I'll see if you want to best feel what the charge is like. There is no better level than this because there's a lot of lines of enemies that you can charge, but you don't really sort of glance off them like you would in the original game. So that means you can go straight through them in a line and not really be knocked off the edge or whatever.
Thank you for releasing me.
Quite alright. So I'm just waiting for the balls to come along because they charge through most of them, isn't it? Seems as though you can guide them here as well. Guide them to damage because they might only take one enemy at a time. Or completely miss, I think. Yeah, that's good. I think when I'm done today, if you've got any questions for me that you'd like answering in later videos, I'll be sure to address them. So yeah, please do leave them in the comments. I do appreciate it because otherwise it's just going to be more downtime like this. There hasn't really been much going on in the industry that I've noticed.
I'll tell you what to do with those creatures. Smash them, Spyro. Stamp them out and squish them and squash them.
How about charge them and flame them? We are dragons after all.
It's one of the most memorable dragons in the game. I mean, there was one thing recently related to Activision. Activision have split with Bungie, or rather Bungie have split with Activision. Which is interesting. I'm not as optimistic as other people are. I don't believe that Activision is... I'm not going to say not the devil as such, but they... because, I mean, I just don't think that Bungie are saintly, and I'm not sure how this is going to go. Like, they seem to have swapped one publisher for another. I mean, at least they're not owned by Activision, so that's good. You know, they are in sort of full creative control of their projects and whatnot. So I've got to give them that much. But they have, like, recently taken $100 million from NetEase, I think, to make a mobile game for them. NetEase, which is one of the biggest video game publishers in the world. The only reason why people don't really pay them much attention and their shitty practices is because they're based in China. So we like to focus on our EAs and our Activisions and all that. And like, I think like the most we really, I think like the biggest publishers we think of in the West when it comes to Japan and China, rather the East, rather people like Nintendo and Square Enix and whatnot. But yeah, so I'm not sure. I mean, maybe Bungie's game will be available only in the East. Bungie are going to continue developing Destiny, which is interesting. We'll see how that goes. And the game will still be on Battle.net if you're playing on PC. I don't know if I'm going to be buying a Destiny 3 or if I will play Destiny 2 in the future. I mean, I love Destiny 1, if not for really anything than the PvP. I did enjoy the PvP a lot in Destiny 1. And if it's just as good in Destiny 2, I might give it a go there. I don't know, I'll see. But even then, it's like, I really don't feel good. Like, I don't feel good when I play a game that has like unnecessary microtransactions in it and such. I'm not the kind of person who's just gonna boycott them flat out. I mean, loot boxes more than likely, yeah. I don't see the artistic merits of loot boxes, but microtransactions, to an extent, I can. So I might go back to Destiny 2. I'm more encouraged now than I was before, but am I fully encouraged? No, not yet, I don't think. Now this is astonishing. And the music's there. But yeah, this is what I want Metalhead to look like. With his stone fortress. We've got armored minions here. Oh yes, it's perfect. I mean, it takes me back to like Embryo's tower in the Fresh Bandicoot games. But yeah, this is cool. Still not quite as sinister. Still got some feeling of hope. They animated the bunch of bananas flying by perfectly there. A bit slower, I think, because they used to be quite dastardly previously. The enemy speed there is totally fine. They're very much like the minions of Dr. Shamp. The witch doctor lady would spank them and send them flying. So yeah, anyway, back to Destiny. I think it's good. Honestly, I mean, I'm not so quick to think that, you know, Bungie are innocent after all. They were the ones who wanted the microtransaction store and such. But you know, it's like, it's not always publishers. You know, I've had this from several game devs saying that in their studio they've had talks about what's going to be locked off for DLC, pre-order perks, all this kind of stuff. It's not just the publisher that encourages this, unfortunately. Makes me wonder what's going on with Blizzard and their monetization. Is it really Activision? Because I'm seeing a lot of comment sections saying, you know, now just Blizzard needs to do this, but I don't think Blizzard's going to get much better either. I think the old guard, it's like sepsis. It's toxins in the blood, and unless you have like a full blood transplant, you know, it's not going to get much better. When those toxins are going to the brain, it's not so good. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe, I mean, honestly, I think the studio will be better without Activision. But as others have noted quite often, they now no longer have their... Oh yeah, I need to go over there as well. They now no longer have their scapegoats. If there's any shit, it's on their heads. You know, it's not. They can't say, oh, it's Activision. And I wouldn't believe them if they were to say, you know, it's still a remnant of the past. You know, it's like we've still got a lot of stuff to change. I mean, I can understand that it will take a while to, you know, restructure the game and whatnot if they plan on going free to play or something like that. But there is only so much I would be willing to say, okay, that's fine, that's understandable. But yeah, I suppose I'm condemning the developers. You know, and I haven't really given them much of a chance. Right, here we go. We're about to see Metalhead.
Metalhead is all charged up to meet you. Attacking the power pole should disrupt his power supply.
Oh, sorry, the power pult. So that there is Metalhead. And I hope to God that he's got one of his most defining features. It's not the green horns, though. Right, go. So the idea here is we've got to charge. Ah, shit, well, that wasn't perfect. We fucked up the skill point. We've basically got to charge these, or guide his catapulting minions into those pylons. So when they're green, they're safe to be charged at. but when they're red, they will begin to sort of pulsate with electricity. And that means that we'll get shocked and we'll take damage, obviously. I thought there were 3 stages to Metalhead. There's only 2. So yeah, so he's going to throw minions at you, in this case big ones as well. You know, he also had a really stupidly ineffective laser. There, he's got his mohawk, which isn't purple. Shit. Oh well. The waterfalls of sludge are still there. Very good. However, this spot I think is a bit more noticeable than before. Because this was like a sort of secret area. Can we fly through it? Yes, it's solid. We can fly through it. Awesome. Actually, I say that. I think I said that a bit prematurely. Doesn't seem quite as noticeable. Oh. Onwards we go. That portal out. But we've still got a bit of treasure to collect yet. One thing I have to give to the bosses is that there's a lot of stuff to be done even after slaying the boss. I mean, the design feels almost like mini-boss-like, really. I can't complain, it's not a complaint. Merely an observation. Are you fucking kidding me? What the shit else am I missing? It's 3 goddamn gems! What am I missing? Fuck me. Right, I'm gonna have to go back and find these now. Jesus. What am I doing wrong? Why is my knowledge failing me? Right, check the edges again. Check around here. Is there anything I might be missing? Think where it might be. And I know I say that a lot, and for that I apologise. Let's see. Just want to check up there one last time. Onwards. Yeah, I think my problem was I focused a bit too much on the secret areas rather than again. Oh, I picked up some gems near here. Okay, now we're missing one. Right, have a look for it from here. Here. I can't wait for Spyro 2 and 3 because then I'll actually have the gem search ability. That'll make things go a lot smoother. What the fucking hell is it called? Sodding gem. Steps. Yeah, and I'm missing only one gem. I'm absolutely certain. Oh Christ! Don't tell me it's the bug. God, I really hope it's just me being dumb. I should have pointed out earlier. There is apparently a bug that stops gems from spawning. Because that's acceptable on a collectathon. I mean, I'm not going to say it's happened to me just yet, but it is a possibility. That might be why we missed the other 5 gems in the previous level. If I'm wrong, I'm willing to be wrong, but if that bug's kicked in, I'm not going to be best pleased. And I don't know if it still costs the insane amount that it does to patch a game on consoles, but if they could do that and solve it, that'd be great. I'd take several other bugs over that, because I know that bug fixing isn't just like you will ever have like a bug-free game. But this one in particular is quite egregious. I just hope to God it's not that that's happening now. I'm looking around for a glimmer, just a simple telltale sign that I am wrong here. Because I can't think of anywhere else I could go to find it. I pretty much have the best perspective in the level right now. If I can't find it here... check down here very quickly. I can't find it. As I say, we can leave this until the end. I'd just, you know, rather not. It pisses me off that I can't find it. The only thing I can think of is when the enemies are thrown at you. Sometimes they... you know, like the idea is that if they fall off the edge of the map, or if they, you know, they go into the water or something, the idea is that they're... oh no, it's not. Apparently, it's solid. Okay. The idea is that they're supposed to still return the gem, so it does like leap off their corpse or whatever. But it's driving me nuts, so I'm gonna have to check up here. I don't know where it is. Nope. I'm sorry. I'm convinced that it hasn't spawned. I just cannot think where it might have been. I mean, maybe you guys saw it in the comments and I'm an idiot. But Jesus, that's bad. I mean, it's different. It's different. It's a different sensation that... Sorry, but I was checking the timer and Dad texts me again. He's got some time off in February, so he wants to do something. So, lobby, 3 levels, flight and boss. With 1 fucking gem missing.
Oh, I feel much better now that so many dragons have been rescued. Jump in the balloon.
So you needed 50 dragons. I failed to mention this earlier, I think.
Are you ready to go?
Should go to the Dreamweavers. We should have some time to do some stuff there. Yeah, so Dad's got some time off, so we might go out together. I wanted to go to Meadowhall, a shopping centre. He's got his eye on Leeds Armoury, though. Guns and swords and pikes and stuff. So, yeah, I thought that'd be good. Because he's always wanted to do stuff. But me, I'm a recluse. I just like to stay here. I'm a hermit. I just stay in my spot. Can't be asked for going out and doing stuff. Now this is the Dreamweavers world, where things are absolutely fucking loopy. Less so, surprisingly. Just want to listen to the music. The music's... even the bass guitar is perfect there in the background. And this world also made it to the top 10 levels in Spyro the Dragon as well. I like the how the sound changes indoors. design is perfect. Absolutely perfect. Just notice the music changes here as well. Interesting.
The fools you see in this world are invincible, but that does not mean they shouldn't be attacked.
Sounds all right to me.
So these are the clock fools. The idea is you strike them, and they're invincible, but they allow something like that to happen. I explained that a bit late as well. Yes, this zone isn't quite as mad. It just... In fact, it actually looks a lot more sane than it did before. Like, for example, these houses were like droopy. They were sort of like the rooftop there were droopy. The walls were sort of slanted. It was quite strange. Now it looks kind of orderly in a way. I mean, I must admit I like the whole sort of like stony effects. I like the water there just sort of dripping off the side. That's brilliant. That's all fantastic. So because they're armoured, they need to be attacked when they're small, because if they're large, they can't be flanked. And then we've got the rebiglificator going over there, which we can use to pass there. Which I do really believe is the secret room the devs are referring to. What I really, really want to see with this is soundtracks, at least. I love to see a special edition, and I don't know why the devs, why Activision is so reluctant to put out such a thing.
Welcome to the Dreamweavers, young one.
Or
while chasing Nasty's minions in this world, you must expect the unexpected and prepare for what is not there.
But yeah, I honestly, I would love to buy the album of this. Or if they were to sell it digitally on Google Play, or iTunes, or Amazon, or whatever. I'd buy in a goddamn heartbeat. Alas, that's quite clever. Yeah, it's a shame that the devs don't really seem interested in that. So, you'll have people, you know, ripping it off YouTube and such. I do believe I needed 5,000 treasure.
Well done, Spyro. I hope you know what lies in store for you. Nasty's world is not the friendliest place you'll ever find. Are you ready to go?
Okay, so we're going to stay here for the time being. There's the boss. Jax, or Jakes, or Jacques. It's Jax, you bastards! So, we'll have fun there, I'm sure. I think that was one of the last levels I saw in the previews before release. God, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there at all. So this gun is totally harmless to us. Just want to listen to the sound very quickly if I can. Just position it. See if the positioning is any better than it was before. Mostly the same, but with a lot more oomph. Yeah, it's a lot less finicky, I find. I think that's really about it for enemies. It does nothing to the dragon.
Hello, Spyro. Nicely done. I'll be done when I've toasted that nasty Nork.
I mean, looking at this, I just know that the levels are going to be fantastic. This really does look as though the devs had fun with it. I'm just thinking now, sell a collector's edition with an art book, soundtrack CD, stickers, desktop wallpaper codes for the website. Make a fortune. I mean, there is only going to be one 20th anniversary for Spyro, you know? Like, all your momentum has been spent. If you'd done that, you could have made an extra bit of cash. Easily. You know? There ain't going to be another one of these. I mean, you really think about it, it's like, how old are the Spyro fans? You know, like, however, well, when did this game come out? This was 20 years ago. So I was, you know, 5 years old, I think, so I'm now 25. I'll be dead by 45, so you're not going to be able to re-release this. So, I would really like that soundtrack. I would really like that that art book. It's got me thinking as well, like, these are proving to be quite successful from what I understand. They're selling a lot of copies, perhaps not making the They're selling a lot of copies, getting a lot of recognition. There's a lot of demand for them. I mean, of course there's going to be more sequels, of course there's going to be more games, but, well, I'm torn on this. Like, on the one hand, I'm like, yeah, I want more Spyro, but on the other hand, it's possible to have too much Spyro, you know? Fuck this, I'm a little concentrating. It's like, I like cake, but you can have too much cake. So, is this series going to have the fuck exploited out of it? I think it will. Like we're already seeing with the Crash now. It's like we're seeing what happened to Skylanders happen to you know, Spyro and Crash now. You had Toys for Bob make one game, then you had them make another game, then you have Vicarious Visions make another, then you had Toys for Bob make another, then you had Vicarious Visions make another, and then you had Toys for Bob make another. Shit. So like we've seen this now with Crash, that you got Vicarious Visions doing Crash, you got Toys for Bob doing Spyro, you got Vicarious Visions doing another Crash game. What's going to come next? Enter the Dragonfly? I don't fucking think so. The Legend of Spyro? Well, all its appeal comes from it. Well, I say that its mainstream appeal comes from the voice acting. You know, it was celebrity voice actors that sold the game essentially. I mean, I don't know if there's really that much demand for Legend of Spyro remaster. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know. Sorry, I'm not entirely focused. Also not used to the map either. I don't, honestly, I get lost in Icy Flight in the original anyway, so this isn't anything particularly new. Yeah, I fucked my route up earlier. So, I mean, I don't know if I really want to see any more, you know, Spyro games. Like, I mean, if this was the last one, I'd be like, you know what, it went out with a bang. I cannot say the same as Skylanders, though. I think Skylanders, if Swap Force was its last game, fine. But I think one of the problems with Skylanders is I think community perception that they're constantly being told to wait for the next game, but it's never delivered. I mean, if you want to be a snarky prick and say, oh, who cares about Skylanders? Well, there's a lot of people out there who do. And I don't want to see what happened to that happen to Spyro again. Like, the fact that sequels are being churned out all the goddamn time is the reason why we're looking so forward to games like this. Yeah. I don't just want to see Activision constantly put out sequel after sequel after sequel, and then have to retire the series because they, they were too eager to make them, and we were all too eager to ask for sequels all the time. Oh, shit! And I will say that, yeah, a lot of that is down to the fans. It's like I've been asked, I can't get enough Spyro, obviously. Even though I know it's bad for me, same with Skylanders. I'll buy all the figures, I'll buy all the games and what I'm playing, but I know that in the long run I'm going to feel like shit. And this is why I say that if this was the last Spyro game to ever be made, or the last one for a good few years, I wouldn't mourn its loss. I'd praise its life, because this is a sodding good game, and I can't imagine what else they would do. Like, how do you top this? Because honestly, like, I cannot imagine the devs doing, like, keeping to the original of any other game. Like, would you remaster Season of Ice and the Flame? Well, probably not. Damn good games, but they work best on the console, on the handheld that they were released on, the Game Boy Advance. Once again, I fucked up my route, and for that I apologise. I still haven't thought of a drinking game yet for this series, or for this game. I have got some beer to drink, but let's keep going. We'll get there eventually. I'd love Enter the Dragonfly to be remastered. I know that's such a, such a horrid opinion to have. How dare I want a game that was made by great developers, but due to time constraints, clear time constraints, or perhaps budgeting issues, the game never reached its full potential. And I know I'm such a stickler for, potential is a naughty word, but no, you can quite clearly see that the developers knew what the fuck they were doing. They knew Spyro in and out. But they just didn't have the time and or experience to make it work. Like, they shouldn't have been working on that game. As a fan game, Enter the Dragonfly is fantastic. Speaking of which, Activision a few months ago had DMCA'd them, rather not DMCA'd, but called to cease and desist. So it's a shame, because I asked the developer if they wanted a voice actor, and I would have loved to have done some additional voice acting for them. It looked great, honestly. It did look like Spyro 2, which is kind of what they were doing. Like, there's quite a few Spyro 2 sort of fan editions and whatnot. But alas, no, Activision isn't interested. Not even interested in hiring these people to make, a full-blown game, or like a Super Spyro maker or something like that, Lord knows I'd love that. I'd pay for that. I paid for this, and I'm one of your most die-hard... Well, no, I am objectively, scientifically, provably the greatest fan ever. But yeah, I'd love to see Enter the Dragonfly remastered. Not because I like the game, but because I like what it could have been. And that's quite clearly shown. but it had a shit publisher behind it that just wanted to churn out another Spyro game. It didn't matter who it cost. You know, the developer's reputation, because I don't think they ever went on to make another game. Or the customers. I mean, the game was churned out. I mean, Christ almighty, I had like... What, was it like some like 8 months development time, if even that? It like had like half... Not even half a year, I think it had like about 8 months or less than 2 years to make. I mean, what they did was not offensively bad. Just hardly praise, I realise, but if it was remastered, honestly, if that was done by Toys for Bob, I'd say bring it on. I would look forward to that. I really would. And if they wanted to sell it to me for 30 quid, fine. Yeah, I'm getting 3 games here. You know, it's objectively speaking, from a sort of price point, this is objectively the better deal. You are getting more content, you are getting more levels, you are getting, like, I mean, whatever metric you want to use, it's probably pretty good. But yeah, if Toys for Bob were to have a bash at it, I'd support them all the way. The thing is, as well, is I couldn't really be upset that it was being remastered, because I don't really have that much emotional attachment to it. Enough to want it to see remastered, enough to put money down for it. But I don't know if it's going to happen. I mean, I'm trying to think what else they could remaster. Crash Purple and Spyro Orange. Bollocks to that. Bollocks, I say. How much time have we got left? About 13 minutes. Right, I know just the level to do. Oh shit, I just realised the gems here are a pain in the ass. Oh wait, hang on. I'm getting... I always get these two mixed up. Is it Dark Passage or Lofty Castle? Now, I know one of them, if I think both made it to my top 10 levels of Spyro the Dragon. Lofty Castle and Dark Passage. Oh, Jesus. We'll find out when we listen to the theme tune. Oh, thank God for that. Right. This is the one. I mean, it hasn't got the cool theme song, but this is the level I wanted. Okay, these things do look better. I must admit they look better. Yeah, this is the level I wanted to talk about. So these Norks use shields to bash you, but not if you pop the balloon and stop them from coming down. So you can't flame them while they're up because they've got a breastplate. Can't be burned. Now this level is kind of collectathon. Haha! You shot your own fucking thing. Your cage. Haha! You prick. Anyway, so we free the fairies and they activate a whirligig. Oh, that was perfect. Oh, yes. It just all flows nicely now. I don't think there's any gems over there yet. Oh, okay, that's different. So yeah, in the original game, the whirligig sort of had the same animation, but it was like multicolored rather than just like sort of bluish white sparkles. Funny the things you remember, right? Yeah, as I was saying before, yeah, I love the End of the Dragonfly to be remastered, but what else was there? I mean, I suppose maybe like Shadow Legacy and things like that. You know, the DS game. Season. I mean, honestly, I would love to see Season of Ice and Flame remastered. Those were fantastic games. I just, in fact, I tell you what, I might actually do those in a bit of. I'll have to emulate it, unfortunately. But yeah, I think that'd be quite good fun because I enjoy playing those. I gave them a ton of shit on the Greasy Gamer Show unnecessarily.
Fairies are always on your side, Spyro. Now, no doubt there's going to be an achievement for a trophy of
showing there's oh my god, there wasn't. Ah, say that comes up, all puffed up. Ah dear. I don't know the official name for those creatures, admittedly. Yeah. All the gems, because there's some sneaky crags here. Castle itself is quite nice to look at. So I'm going to enjoy this thing. Sorry, I didn't need to do anything to the microphone, but right, so now we've got another whirligig activated. However, there's still a monster I must slay. So he goes to the floor. See, I didn't really understand that when I first played the game. I was like, why does it fall? Like, why is that such a? That's not that great a fall. Why does it have problems with that? Oh, hang on.
Ah, Spyro, thanks. Supercharge will get you to new places here in Lofty Castle, too. See where it takes you.
Let's see, so the Dreamweavers are... I've noticed more monk-like here. At least I say monk-like if we're going by... if we're going like sort of fantasy fiction standards. Oh, I missed a couple of gems there. Yes, I did. Should have stopped, but I didn't. Yeah, I thought they were more like... Well, I don't really know, just more wizardly, I think. I think some of them are even possibly taking on like the sort of Chinese dragon kind of look, at least head-wise. Again, if we're going by sort of like, you know, Western fantasy fiction rather than like, you know, I guess traditions. Sorry, they did the second whirligig. You know, like Mulan, kind of dragon. I can't remember his name, regrettably. I say that, I mean, I think Mulan was, you know, obviously to an extent, like, based on a true story. I did say to an extent. Just want to have a quick look around. Marvelous. Yeah, it really is. I'm really happy that out of all the developers that could have had Spyro to remaster. I mean, I am trying to think now, actually, who else could have done the Spyro Reignited Trilogy, rather than what games could have been done. Maybe Rare? Rare might have had a bash at it. Maybe the guys, is it Chrome? Chrome Studios? The guys behind Tyler Tasmanian Tiger. They would have been good, I think. Mind you, I don't know if they're owned by EA, or if they were just publishing for EA. I've had another thought as well. For another game as well. Hero's Tale. I mentioned that in the first part, or second part. That's a fantastic Spyro game. If you haven't played Hero's Tale, it is good. And if you haven't played it in a while, and don't remember it well...
Thank you for releasing me.
It's quite alright. If you haven't played it in a while, you know, do yourself a favour and play it. It is good. I mean... I didn't really like it much because it wasn't Insomniac. But yeah, I would like to see it again. I would like to see Hero's Tale again. So yeah, if they were to bring that back with the original frame rate, that would be fantastic. Of course, I did just forget that Insomniac could have done this. I'm sorry, I keep going between games topics. I know. The symmetry here. I'm not disappointed. It's different. That That is fantastic. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm tempted to go down there just to die, because it would look bloody fun. I have 18 lives, I could risk it. But I'm sensible. And we haven't much time left. Because I wasted a dull and icy flight. Which is technically the last flight in the game. So I did hope you enjoy it. Doesn't help that I fucked it up, but now I don't remember these things flying so high, but I see there's, I think they're different heights. Or they're choosing to go at different heights. Yeah, I always thought they were like turkeys. Or chickens. 15 gems. I hope they're up here. Yes, so. Yeah. There we are. And now we 100% complete the level. Excellent. Quickly check as well our skill points. We haven't found the secret room in the Dream Weavers. Oh, we need to destroy the hidden stump. Well, we are running out of time, but I suppose I could try and find this hidden stump. I'm guessing it's referring to like a tree stump. A hidden stump. Now that wasn't in the original game, so I've got to try and think a little outside the box. Where would this stump be? It would probably grow on grass or in a wooded area. Well, there's hardly any woods here, so... Now, do we burn it? Do we charge it? I think it could. I think it could be there. It's got to be hidden though, so there's got to be an area that we can't really get to. There! It's that bastard thing there. Let's find a way to get there if we can. No doubt it's going to require the supercharge to reach. Or... No, I'm going to make that jump, I don't think. Glide. See if we can get onto there. And then... Let's try, because at least I know where it is now. But that's it there. Oh yeah, we also I know where the hidden tulip is in Stone Hill. I thought I had to do a double take. I thought there's just something a little out of place and I couldn't picture it. And it's oh right, yeah, there it is. There's one of the collectibles. So we might have to do that. Well, I'm gonna try and do all the skill points before we finish this game, which might be in one or two parts. Oh, can I land on that? Ah, shit! I can flame it. So at least we know now to use the supercharge. So supercharge right to the edge, leap, glide. Oh shit! Glide, and then flame. And if flaming it works, which it should because it's wood, hopefully. If we're using Battle for Azeroth logic, then yeah, it should work a treat, you know, because that's how physics works, or something. I failed to mention. Yeah, sorry, I'm way off topic. I wanted to talk about Insomniac earlier. I thought, how would they do at Spyro again? Oh, fuck you. Do I need to supercharge all the way? Alright, I'm going to give it one last attempt, and if I can't do that... I mean, I wonder if I could just do it hit from here. Shit. I mean, to be honest, I'm a lot closer doing it here. Oh, shit! I mean, it's hitting the grass. wanker thing. Right, one last attempt at this leap, and then that's it. I'm done. I'm calling it a day. Calling it a part, rather. Ah, fuck you. Right. No, that's it. Let's make our way to the exit. And I shall prepare myself a part 5. I should know. Fucking whirligig. So yeah, I don't know how Insomniac would do with Spyro again. To be honest, I mean, that's the thing with a lot of these developers that have been in the industry for so long is that it's now a name. It's like how many people are in. I think it's the wrong way. Yes, I did. Strangely, yeah, I don't know how many people are in the original company. Or so how many original members of the company are still there. Naughty Dog are the same, you know, how would they do with Crash? I don't know. Actually, I think Insomniac aren't too bad. They did quite a good job with Sunset Overdrive. I was very much looking forward to it, but it just wasn't really my cup of tea, unfortunately. And perhaps, if I remember, I might be able to say why. Okay, that's it for me. Until the next time, thank you very much for watching a bit of Spyro Reignited Trilogy. And I will try and see you again as soon as I can. Ta for now.